Hey, Home Slices, it's Kiera with Home Slice Adulting coming to you with yet another review for The Circle, a social media competition. So right now, I have been binging all the available Netflix episodes. This is the last one that has been made available to me at this point, at the time of this recording. I enjoy this show. I got into this show a few months ago, and they have been putting out seasons a little frequently, so that's great. But unfortunately, we have to wait a week to get new episodes after this one. So Netflix used to just be Binge City, Binge Central, and now they're making us wait because of the fact that Corona has made it difficult for them to shoot new material. I guess I don't know. That's what I'm guessing. But anyways, this particular episode, I forgot what it was called. But anyway, it starts out with a few sourpusses, Daniel, Calvin, and Roxana being upset that they were not invited to the party. They have a conversation about spinning the bottle and who they would kiss if they would spin the bottle. We found out a little bit of information. Calvin confides that he is very interested in Kay. Daniel confides that he's never had his first kiss. And next we see Ashley and Nick have a conversation. Things get interesting because now that Nick is interested in the hotter blonde that has come in, Isabella, who was actually a young lesbian woman, he is now turning his attentions more towards Isabella, who's more conventionally attractive than Ashley is. How convenient. Anyways, now Nick is trying to turn down the type of flirtatiousness that's going on so that he can feel okay about flirting with two women at once instead of just being like, it is what it is. So this conversation was interesting. And I guess him being with a lesbian playing a straight woman is better than a gay man playing a bisexual woman. I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, he's getting catfished either way, which is good for him. This is what happens when you're a playboy in a competition where you can't see nobody. Okay, anyways. So moving on, we have Michelle and Kay. So I talked about this conversation in a different episode, in a different review. In my previous review, I got mixed up because I watched two episodes back to back, not realizing they were two separate episodes. But I already talked about this, but I'll speak about it again. There's a conversation between Kay and Michelle. Okay, Michelle. I'm just not putting that together. Okay. Anyways, there's a conversation between Michelle and Kay, and this is where Kay's spidey senses start tingling and where her strategy is just completely like erroneous. It don't make no sense. So Michelle starts to have a conversation with her. They try to bond over both being Southern. Kay, because she feels like her, perception skills are just so off the charts, she just seems to be so comfortable feeling like the remaining Michelle is the actual Michelle, right? And so she just kind of opens up to her. And the first mistake Michelle makes is by saying that she wishes that she was 30 years younger because the new guy Jackson is so hot. And it's like, first off, Mama Michelle would never say that. She has a husband that is alive and well, and she would not say that on national TV. Okay. So that was mistake number one. But the thing that really threw Kay off was the fact that the conversation was less about the alliance that they would form and more about what other alliances that Kay is forming. And so Kay takes this opportunity to make what I think is a mistake in judgment, but maybe doesn't matter so much. Where Kay, instead of really playing her cards close to the vest, basically lets both Michelle's know that she is pining after two different guys, both Calvin and the new guy Jackson. And the interesting thing is that she's literally saying it when she's in the bathroom about to send her message. How do I want to play this? I want to keep things to myself. And then she just reveals that there are two people that she's getting close to. It's like you didn't keep anything You didn't keep any information close to your vest, girl. You let them know everything. And so now they have these two pieces of information about her, but not very much information about Michelle. So Kay starts to get suspicious, and rightfully so. It's obviously not Kay. So next up we have a game called Honest Review, where each person will have an opportunity to review another player, and they can do it anonymously. And because it is anonymous, people can say things that aren't true. People can cast doubts at people who are more threatening to them in the competition. People can do things just to stir the pot, and that is exactly what happens when you put across a veil of anonymity. Can I help you? My dog, what you doing, Bo? My dog's being weird. When you put across a veil of anonymity, things get crazy. And the problem is that honest review can't be honest if it's anonymous, okay? Part of honesty is being real about who's saying it, so that when you don't have that veil of anonymity, you get to be now that I'm thinking about what I'm saying. No, with anonymity, you can say anything and it's not honest. Some people actually on here were not honest. But if I'm saying it face to face, I have an incentive to not be as honest because I don't want any blowback. So maybe it is an honest review. Heck, who knows? So anyways, each one of them gets to choose what to say. Isabella does a review of Nick, giving him 3 out of 5 stars, basically saying that you're trying to pretend like you have mad game when you're only using your dog. And Nick takes it really well and basically says, you're right, my dog is my wingman. So I think Nick did the best in receiving his feedback. So next up we have, is it Dan? Who did this feedback? Somebody gave Calvin 2 stars, basically saying that he dominates all the conversations. And I'm trying to remember who said this. Oh, that it was what's his name? Matthew, who is playing as Ashley. And so Matthew basically said Calvin actually rated pretty high last time. I think he was number 2 in the popularity contest, and this is a way to bring him down. And so Calvin's review said, you dominate every conversation. In my experience, the smoother the talker, the faker the person. So these are casting some doubts. Gave him 2 out of 5 stars. And Calvin had an opportunity to respond. It was more like, everybody that I've talked to knows that I've been genuine, blah, 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 blah. Next up, we have Calvin's response was like, oh, who hurt you? Anyways, next up we have Kay, who I think that when it came to, first of all, Kay is my favorite. Second of all, when it came to actually stirring the pot, when it came to actually getting people actually thinking and understanding what's going on, I think that Kay did the best job when it came to these reviews. However, it sucked that it was Daniel because he is not as mature as the other players and took it more personally. So her review was based, somebody went through and she told them, you need to underline and bold these words. It was all caps. It was no caps. I'm kidding. She gave him 2 out of 5 stars and basically said, you are out here severely disappointing me. You're playing the middle. You don't have any strong opinions. And then you're going to come in the end and surprise all of us. Basically saying they were flying under the radar, and she thought that the Orange Michelle went to go see him, and that she was just deeply disappointed in his performance. And this really kind of rocked Daniel in a way that made me uncomfortable. He really did take it personally. So Daniel basically responded like, I'm sorry that I had such a disappointing performance, but I've been genuine, and if you have any questions for me, you can definitely call me. So I think he responded okay. Next up, we have another new person, who is Rachel, who is pretending to be Jackson, that anonymously creates another review about Calvin, a second one in a row. We're basically saying that Calvin's profile isn't convincing enough. It has a bunch of different career paths in it. But on the other hand, he comes off as genuine and sincere. And how can we be sure that he is who he says he is? So this is another person that's kind of coming after Calvin to say, there's some doubts here. So unfortunately, Calvin gets to be the only person who is gone after twice. So that's that. But at least they use facts. Now, somebody, Nick, interestingly enough, Messy Nick, went ahead and did a review on Kay and gave Kay 2 stars. And their response was, what do you call someone who's always on the fence, plays the field, and never commits to one friendship? This absolutely came out of nowhere. It's basically false in every way. But because Kay is a threat, Kay was the most popular last time, people seem to really like her and respond to her. And she is an influencer in the group and has been twice, or including this episode has been twice. So this is just an opportunity to kind of knock her down out of that top spot. So her response is, on the fence, plays the field, commits to one friendship. As a Southern Belle, I don't know that I couldn't have more than one friend. So whoever wrote this, please feel free to know that there's enough of me to go around. So she kind of responded to it with positivity, which I thought was annoying. Whatever. But moving on. So all of those reviews are sticking in each other's heads. Daniel and Roxana have this really nice, like, sentimental big sister support situation where they go back and forth about missing their families, and Daniel's been feeling really upset about the review that he got and missing his family at the same time, and Roxana offers some encouraging words. I thought it was really sweet. It's kind of rare that in such a cutthroat competition that you have those kind of sweet moments, right? So now it's time for the players to rate each other. The 2 new players can rate but cannot be rated. They don't need to go home the same day that they get there, apparently. So they go through, they do the ratings, and in 7th place, wait, hold on, no. Oh, there's also another conversation before the ratings come through. Interestingly enough, Sophia, who is playing Isabella, rates Ashley, who is being played by Matthew, as the lowest. And her rationale is that because Ashley is a out and proud bisexual woman, that her urge when she's talking to Ashley is going to be herself. And because she's trying to portray a straight woman, she thinks that she's going to slip up. And I think that that's like sound logic. But Ashley actually reaches out to Isabella. They have an interesting conversation about how Ashley came out, and how Isabella's younger sister, who is Sophia, came out as well. So they have a really nice conversation and kind of bond in that moment without Isabella kind of tipping her hand that she is not who she says she is. So that was a really good, heartwarming conversation as well. There's another private chat between Calvin and Kay. They are still being a little flirty, but then they get down to business, figuring out who to trust. And so Calvin talks about who he trusts. I think he said Nick, maybe Daniel, Roxana, and Kay. I think those were the 4 people that he named. They talk a little bit about Michelle and how Michelle's being fishy. And then the results are in, right? And so we have Michelle in last place, which is good because people are actually suspicious of Michelle now. We have Ashley and Calvin, who are tied for 5th place. Daniel gets 4th place, which is interesting. And 3rd place is Nick, so he's still up there. In 2nd place, we have Kay, and in 1st place, we have Roxana, which is actually super crazy because I thought Roxana was going to be kind of in the middle. But the fact that she bonded with Daniel helped her to be at the top, as well as her conversations with Calvin, too. So Roxana is playing the game. And there's something to be said for people who are not sleep withable in these shows, okay? Again, like I said before in a previous review, if you are in a position where you are taken or where you are not a desirable romantic partner for somebody, you have to have something about you that draws people to you. And so Shoe Bomb had that type of, from season 1, had that type of magnetism of drawing people to him. Even though nobody was interested in him as a romantic partner, people were drawn to him because there was an authenticity and a sweetness about him. And Roxana's personality is very caring and big sisterly, and she's married and she has a kid, and so she bonds with people in those ways. And so she's using the other qualities that she has to make herself an influencer, basically. So that's what I meant when I said that earlier. So this time they're actually doing the elimination in the same way that they would normally do it. The top 2 influencers get together. Not really, they're separated by a wall, but they have a conversation about who should stay and who should go. And these 2 women are on the same page. While I think that Kay does most of the talking, I do think that they both see things the same way. They both have suspicions about Michelle. They both, want to save the same people. Think the same people are genuine. There really are no real disagreements. So these 2 women are on the same page, and the monkey wrench that gets thrown into this plan is that the circle lets them know that one of y'all gonna have to boss up, and actually go and eliminate the person that you have chosen face to face. And there's something about that is just very daunting, because part of the magic of this show is that all of this stuff can be done anonymously. You can be who you say you are, or you cannot be who you say you are. So there's a comfort in not having to see people face to face. And so throwing this monkey wrench where people have to go in and actually eliminate somebody face to face is not only confronting them with having to eliminate somebody, but they have to deliver bad news directly in front of this person who they probably thought that they wouldn't ever see, or at least not under those circumstances. So they go in, and Kay doesn't even hesitate, and it's like, Roxana, you won number 1. You're influencer number 1. You had the most influence. I'm gonna let you enjoy that seat, and I'm gonna go and do it. And I really like that. I was like, okay, some people out here don't have a problem with confrontation. And so I really enjoyed that about Kay, that she was like, Roxana, you sit over there, I'm gonna go handle this. So I enjoyed that little moment or whatever. So next thing you know, everybody else also knows that whoever is eliminating them is going to be coming to their room face to face. So everybody else is freaking out. Of course, there's a suspense. And we see Kay walking down the hall. She knocks on the door, and when she enters the room, Kay is super shocked to find that the blue Michelle, who are the fake Michelles, are actually Ava and Chanel, who were eliminated in the first episode. So she's legitimately shocked. I think that it made more sense personality wise for Kate to go and confront these people, but there is an advantage of eliminating people face to face, and that is gleaning the knowledge that they have gained throughout the show. And so not only do I get to have a conversation like I get to eliminate you, which means you're out of my way when it comes to the $100,000. But I also get to glean some of your knowledge. I also get to share this knowledge with whoever I would like to share it with. And so strategically, it's advantageous for her to go and do this face to face and take what she can from this whole situation. So I think Kay, for the most part, is kind of playing the game the best when it comes to strategics. I think that she messed up by not figuring out who the right Michelle was. She was a very kind of go with your gut or go with your first mind type of person. But besides that, I think that she's playing the game pretty strategically. So I'm interested to see what kind of conversation they have. I think that she was genuinely shocked to see those two people, not only because they were eliminated, but because she originally kind of thought that they were the real Michelle. So, yeah. Anyways, we gotta wait a week for the next freaking episode. I'm not happy about that, but it'll give me something to look forward to. So let me know what you all thought about this episode. I am so happy that the fake Michelles get to go and get up out of there. They weren't going to be able to hold this down for too much longer. They're not Southern Belles. They are, now that they have the real Michelle out of the way, I think that they let their guard down. So knowing that they're going to be up out of there, I'm happy about that. So let me know what you thought of this episode. Peace out, home slices.